You are listening to the Mark Lesko podcast, a podcast by diehard fans for fans. Mark covers all things Penn State football and the Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as anything related to the sports and fitness world. Tune in weekly to listen to a couple of dedicated fans talk about these topics without filters. Thank you for listening to the Mark Lesko podcast.
What's up, Steeler Nation? Welcome to the Mark Lesko podcast. I'm your host, Jay Rod, and this is Steelers Central. All right, guys, week after week, it's a big game. Every game matters. I keep bringing it up because it's the truth. These players know the severity of this situation. They know that they need to show up in this game. It is a very, very crucial thing. Yeah, I know they also have to deal with the Bears, who are 7-3 atop the AFC North or NFC North division. Both of us are leading the North. So who's the real king of the North? We'll find out today. But if we're looking at the talking points of this game, I think we're going to have to look closer, of course, to the Aaron Rodgers. Will he play? They still haven't made that decision, which, drives you crazy as a fan. What more can you do, though? I know that Aaron Rodgers has a really, really good record against the Bears. I know he owns that team, but these circumstances make it tough to want to see that from him. I mean, I know he's probably thinking this is going to be the last time he plays at that field, and it's a very emotional thing, and that's understandable for anyone, especially in his circumstance. These players want this game to go the way they need to for this team. I mean, the whole season basically hinges on this being the best version of themselves. They cannot allow, the Ravens to take on the Jets and win and then us lose and have us tied. We cannot have that. So now this whole season has been basically about what's the identity? And that's really my question too. I still have yet to know what the identity of this team is. Yeah, they've got talented players. Yes, they have good play calling. Their head coach is always a hothead. He's always trying to say that he's got some great plan, and yet week in and week out, we don't know what version we're going to get of this team. This is just, it's not fun. It's not enjoyable. There's nothing fun about being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. I mean, I love my team so much, but the antics of Tomlin and the antics of how he wants things to go down every single game, every week, it's just unnecessarily head scratcher, and it's not fun. I just try my darndest to want to go into this game wanting good things for them, but that's really up to the head coach, and it's up to these players to show up today. With everything that's going on in the AFC North, the Ravens started out 1-5, and we went into it 4-1. I mean, we thought, hey, we're going to be absolutely owning this division. But naturally, the Ravens' schedule got a little smaller, and just they didn't have to plan as much. And yeah, Lamar Jackson and company, they always have to be in the conversation. It's almost like a written rule that the Ravens, because the media has picked them, they have to be in this conversation. But if you look at the NFC North's perspective, we all thought the Lions were going to run away with this division, and they have not really looked as good as they should have. All because they lost their offensive coordinator. I know they lost both coordinators, but it's like, which side of the ball for Detroit has really started to fall apart? And I think it is offensively. So they're not really running away with this division either. And all of a sudden the Bears with Caleb Williams and that new head coach, I can't think of his name for the life of me off the top of my head, but he's gotten them ready to play. They've absolutely have every reason to think they can go into this game and win it, because again, the weaknesses that we have they don't have any sustainability. I love nothing more than to bring up my team and say, what's the great thing about us? The great thing about us is we don't know what version we're going to see. We don't know if we're going to see, the version we saw against the Colts when we had 6 turnovers and we had such great play calling and everyone showed up. And then you had the game against, the Packers, where it's like everything went wrong. No one was doing anything great. Everybody was missing assignments. It just looked all over the place. No one had any real sense of game planning. It's just It's crazy to think what you go in to week in and week out with these guys. I wish that they would find some way to have an identity. I wish that we could say, hey, we know what version we're going to see, and we don't. Because, again, Tomlin likes to play games. He loves to manipulate. He loves to find some way to make this, the most headache-inducing, just it's crazy. I wish that they had some form of knowing what they were going to see, what we're going to see as fans. But all things aside, how I feel about this game today, that the Bears have the opportunity to stay in the North, keep a hold of that lead. And Soldier Field has not been kind to the Steelers. I think if I saw last time, the Steelers have not won at Soldier Field since I was 8, and that was 95. Yeah, so they are definitely going to have everything coming at them. They have some great talent. I mean, do I know the roster off the top of my head? I know they have Caleb Williams. I know they have Roma Dunze, DeAndre Swift. I don't know if he's still hurt, but let's see if I bring this up here. Do they have the rosters? Nah, it's just more talking about the matchup itself. Let me see. Bring up rosters. Search. No, there's no search. What? Really? So according to this game, they do say Chicago has a 50.9% chance of winning this game. Again, they know the history of the Steelers not performing all that well. So if we do a comparison between Caleb and Aaron, I mean, listen, the Bears have not really played a whole lot of teams in their schedule. They really haven't. And the teams that they have lost to, between the Ravens, the Lions, I forget the other team they lost to, but they have definitely, not put up a whole lot of numbers because, it's tough to compare it. Because if they're bad teams and then they've lost to good teams, how can you say the 7-3 is really a 7-3? It's just who you've played and how you've beaten them. Yeah, we can say we've had a decent showing because our 6-4 record, we have 2 games between the Colts and the Patriots. Now, again, I understand those 2 wins, they're suspect a little because, again, it was all the takeaways that the other team pretty much did give. It's not like the Steelers have the most threatening defense in all of the land, but those games, they showed up and they took advantage of what the other team gave them. So we can say that we have some very impressive wins on our season. Now, with Aaron, again, it's a tough thing to really judge with Aaron Rodgers and his history with the Chicago Bears. But if he's not healthy, if he's not 100%, if he's not the best option to win this game, I don't know why you take the chance with him. But again, Tomlin, master of, game playing, likes to play mind games and always try to keep the other team on their toes. Does it work? I'd like to think more times than not it has, but it just creates so much chaos and frustration for us fans and the whole entire nation. It's that's why a lot of people probably hate the Steelers because, again, they keep playing all these games where they should not have these many questions and or reasons for doing so, but that's how they like to play the week game. They like to say, are we playing them or are we not? Who knows? But again, these numbers show that Rodgers, 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions on the season, almost 2,000 yards for a 41-year-old. I can't really ask much more from a guy who's that old doing what he's doing. Caleb, I mean, yes, he has more yardage, but he only has 2 more attempts. I mean, that's saying a whole lot about how much he has evolved from his USC years. Yeah, he has some good talent around him, and that's really helping this team out. They've had how many years of failures? So they've had a lot of first-round picks, and here's the result of it. I mean, I very much wanted Roma Dunze when he was in the draft that year, but you can't have that pick again. I think that was the year we had Broderick Jones. So it's going okay, but it could be better. Now, seeing these results, I mean, between Jalen and Swift, I mean, did they say that Warren he's not questionable, so he's good to go. That's a good thing for them. But they said they're going to use Gainwell a lot in this game. This is a very back and forth conversation between, do you use Gainwell in passing and you let Warren run? I feel like that would be a huge threat. That would be a really good combination to try and use. And, look at DK. Like, the fact that he has 49 yards less than a guy like Roma Dunze, who's only been in the league for a couple of years. Metcalf has to have a game. He just does. I'm waiting and waiting for this, and he needs to show up and have the better game than Roma Dunze. But again, this will be a back and forth one. I don't know how great the scoring will be, but I'll make my predictions very shortly, guys. I mean, between Nick being the best version of himself, I mean, Highsmith, I think, is ruled out. I know he's doubtful or questionable. So it's nice that we do have all the options for this particular position, because edge rushers, having Nick and or Watt, that's really going to help them out immensely. And yeah, seeing that Peyton Wilson has 84 solo tackles, yeah, it's nice that he is becoming one of the more important elements of this defense. So does it matter how intense or how big they get? It's really going to come down to execution, and I really, really hope that we just see the best version of the Steelers when it comes to play calling. It just has to be smart football once again. You have to do it back-to-back. We can't just have this we win one, lose one kind of ordeal, and we've somehow stumbled into the playoffs yet again. There's too much talent on this team. There's too much talent to do that. So with all that said, guys, the 5 things I'm looking for in this game, I'm going to say, number 1, find your identity, whatever that may be. Whatever we see on this field today, I hope that is what we're going to see for the rest of the season and going into the playoffs if we make that. But we should be able to understand who we are as a team, and hopefully that really comes into play today. I mean, do we want to be a run first and maybe Aaron lobs it for 6 or 8 yards and gets a first down, and we just slowly milk the clock and have good game management? That would be a great identity. I wouldn't mind that at all. It really angers the defensive coordinator a lot. That really shows that you're trying to control things, and you have the control if you can accomplish that. Or perhaps, again, we have a breakout day with Aaron or Mason. I like seeing that we have the option, and Mason has proven that he can handle this game if Aaron is supposed to go down. But that's the big challenge. This is a much better team than Cincinnati. Much, much better team. So if Mason can go out and do what he did against Cincinnati in this game, then we're absolutely fine. We know that we have an option in case Aaron is not 100%. That's really what we need to see. We're either going to see a good established run game, or we're going to see, Aaron or Mason, air it out. Maybe give, again, DK Metcalf have a big game. Pat Freiermuth or Darnell Washington have a big game. This is really your options. I mean, we could have both. I mean, I don't want to be greedy, but we could have everyone have a great game, and it would be a fun time. But I don't see that just yet. This is going to be a test. Being in Soldier Field, trying to overcome all the years of losing there, it's very much in their minds. So number 2, I'm going to say, really establish your offensive play calling. Really offensive. I'm establishing it. It needs to occur. See here, I got a comment, guys. Do the Steelers need to start using Darnell Washington more? That is a big yes. Absolutely, guy. I mean, when you saw what he did in the Cincinnati game, the fact that he had the play of the game where he caught that ball and he just mauls down everyone, stiffs-armed the guy, just heaves one dude and just completely shoves across. I mean, the man was basically a Marvel superhero just doing what he does. It's amazing. Mount Washington deserves to really show that he is the best version of the tight end position. Again, you have the ability to have 2 tight ends if need be. I'm not saying that Calvin Austin or Roman Wilson can't be used more in this game, but they need to really use this guy as much as possible because, again, you're a big guy, 6'8", 270 pounds. Like, come on. He's either blocking or he's catching. That should be always an option. I appreciate the comment, bud. So in the end, what number 3, I guess the most important element we need to see is probably again, game management. I know that that's probably the more important thing. Control the clock, have the more time of possession. We need to really start establishing that. It's not like, every week you don't have any kind of idea of what we're going to see, but games like this, you can establish that. You control this, you have that on your side, you have the ball more than the other team. That is a huge plus. So I need to see that today. Number 4, I would say somebody in the defense needs to really have some big moments. I think either Patrick Queen or, they're going to say Darius Slay will play in this game. I don't have a clue, but it's definitely because again, Brandon Echols did not have the best game last week. Cornerback play is always up in the air, guys. And yes, if Romadunze, and I know there's another wide receiver for the is it, oh gosh, what was that guy's name? Is it Keenan Allen? Is he still with them, or is he with another team? But there's another wide receiver out there. You try your darndest to establish, get an interception, try to force some turnover. Can we win the turnover battle today? Because again, the Bears have one of the best turnover differentials in all of football. So we're really going to have to figure out a way to establish that, which is number 5, guys. We cannot lose the turnover battle in this game. We can't turn the ball over. We have to secure it. We have to maintain all the possessions. So in the end, I think that we have a good chance of doing so. And with my prediction for today, guys, I'm going to say that this game in the first quarter, I'm going to say that we are going to be down by just, a couple score. I think they're going to score a touchdown. We're going to kick a field goal. It'll be 7-3 Bears going into the second quarter. I think we're then going to score a touchdown, make it 10-7. They're going to tie it up and make it 10-10. And I think we're going to kick a late field goal right before the half to make it 13-10 Steelers. And when we come back out in the second half, I think in the third quarter, you're going to see them score a touchdown, make it 17-13. And then I think you're going to see us kick a field goal, and we're going to be 17-16. And then in the fourth quarter, it's going to be a really tight game. I think they're going to kick a field goal, make it 20-16. I think we're going to score a touchdown, make it 23-20. And then they're going to tie the game up, make it 23-all. And I think we're going to have the ball at the end of the game, and we're going to kick a field goal to win it. And this game today will be won by the Steelers. I picked them in the preseason to win this game today, and they're going to win this game 26-23. That's my prediction. So I hope it comes true, guys. This is going to be a really interesting matchup. It's back and forth. Both teams want to win their division. They have a chance to do so. I just think that in the end, we finally end the curse at Soldier Field. We win for the first time in 30 years. It's going to be a fun game, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I apologize if I sound a little hoarse. I'm getting a little bit of a sinus infection, so hopefully by next week I'm 100%. I will see you guys, whatever happens after the game for the post game. I hope you guys enjoy the game, and until this time, guys, here we go, Steelers.